everybody, it's the first Saturday of the month, so that means it's time for the next episode of Movie Nerds Club. This is where my friends and we pick a topic, and the first Saturday of the month, we give our top fives on that topic, and it's a lot of fun. And I would challenge you to go and check out all the other members of the Movie Nerds Club, their videos, and what they have to say. And today, we are talking about our top five favorite Oscar winners for Best Picture. And this is very difficult to narrow down. There's so many great films that have won Best Picture. There's some that are like, but there's a lot of really, really, really good films. And so I had a pretty long list, but I narrowed it down to five, and it'll be fun to see what my friends have on their list. So let's talk about it. At number five, I have The Apartment. This is from 1960. This stars Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon. And Jack Lemmon plays a man who's a cog in the machine of this giant company. And you see the great cinematography coming in, and you see just this sea of desks. And there he is in the middle, just punching in code. And he has an apartment in a really convenient place by the subway and everything. And one of his managers finds out about it and says, "Hey, if I pay you so-and-so, will you leave your apartment and let me use it to have my dalliance with my mistress?" And he says, "Okay." And he kind of lets his guard down, and then people find out about it, and then more and more people are asking, and he keeps getting benefits from it and raises and bigger offices, and then he's on sort of the side where the nice offices are, and it keeps going and going until he realizes one day that this girl, played by Shirley MacLaine, is seeing one of the head bosses, and he'd had a crush on her all this time. And so now he's even more conflicted because what he's doing is hurting this woman that he loves. And Fred MacMurray is such a villain in this movie. He's usually so likable, but he's so unlikable here. And I just love this movie. I think it's so easy to relate to that all of us would be very tempted, especially when you're in a horrible office situation like that, and when you're not happy in your work. It'd be so tempting to take the corner job. And it's like, how much can we be tempted? How much will we sacrifice in order to have that raise, in order to have that nicer office? I think it's something easy to relate to. And I love the performances, and it goes to some pretty dark places, but it's a really great film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Next up on my list, I have Dog Millionaire. This is from 2008. And I know a lot of people, this is too syrupy for them, but I'm a syrupy person. I love this movie. I love how all of the little pieces of his life have made him ready for this moment where he can answer these questions on this show so that he can find Latika and they can be together. And I think it's very hopeful. It's very life affirming while also having some really tough stuff and some things that are, hard to watch, but it just makes for an overall experience that I think is very moving, and it's so beautifully shot. The colors, the light. I think that you have great performances from Dev Patel, from Frida Pinto, from Irfan Khan. Just the whole cast is great. And I just won my favorite Oscar winner, so it had to make the list. Oh, there you go. Number three, I have Amadeus. This is from 1984. And this movie has such great production values, great performances. And it also has such a great message about how we can let envy ruin our lives. And I think that Salieri, he is allowing Mozart to ruin his life. And Mozart is completely unaware about this. And he just lets the seed of envy just grow and grow and grow until it consumes him like this monster. And what he ends up excusing, because he's angry at God, he's angry at the world that allowed this, in his eyes, this nincompoop to have this great talent. And it's that dynamic that I think is so well done in this film. I think that it's also very well cast. F. Murray Abraham, Tom Hulce in the lead roles, so good. And it's got the great music, of course, of Mozart, and the incredible staged operas and other music is so wonderful. It's just a really, really good story. Even though it is a fictional story, it still, to me, works very well. So that's number 3. Number 2 for me is The Sound of Music in 1965. And this is one of the rare instances where I think the transition from the stage to the screen actually improved the property, not made it worse, like usually is the case. They took out a couple songs, they moved things around, and I think it just makes so much more sense. Like originally in the stage play, they do My Favorite Things at the spot where they have the goat herder song in the movie, but they swapped those two. And so when the kids are scared, they don't hear the goat herder scene, they hear My Favorite Things. And I think that works way better. It's just way it makes more sense to me. Got rid of 2 songs from the Baroness and from Max, and those 2 songs make them seem a lot more sinister. And I like the fact that there's a little more ambiguity to their motives and to their behaviors in the film than in the stage musical. So I think that they actually made it better. And the songs by Roger Hammerstein are so catchy, so great. And I think the chemistry between Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer is so palpable and great. I love the scene when she comes back and he proposes and everything, and it's great. And I know some people take umbrage at the wedding because they, how do you solve a problem like Maria? You marry her off, right? But in this case, that was the answer for her. That was her path. I don't think that they're saying that's solution for every single person, but it was a part of Maria's path. And Climb Every Mountain, such a gorgeous song, such a beautiful song. And I even love 16 Going on 17. I just love The Sound of Music so much. My number 1 Oscar winner, a movie that I think has a perfect script, is from 1950, and it is All About Eve. And this is such a cracking, great story and great script with dialogue that is perfect and perfectly executed by this incredible cast. You have Bette Davis as Margot Channing, and she is a actress of the stage, and the things that are most important to her is her career and her relationship with her husband. And she has kind of this carefully crafted life that she loves, and she has a great friend named Karen, played by Celeste Holm. And it is her friends that help her to kind of tamper down her ego a little bit. Well, one day she ends up meeting this woman named Eve, and Eve seems all innocent and sweet, but she's a huge fan of Margot, but she slowly starts to replace Margot in all the little ways. And it starts with her career, with her, what she tries to take her man, she tries to take her friends, all these different things. And as Margot sees this, she's sort of left not knowing how to stop it and just starting to hate Eve more and more and more. And this dynamic between the two of them is so good. And Anne Baxter is great as Eve. And of course, Bette Davis is so great as Margot. You even have a little scene with Marilyn Monroe in this movie. I just think this is the best picture winner because it is perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about it. The script is so great. The cinematography is really wonderful. And like I said, the dialogue is just perfectly delivered, especially by Bette Davis. But I love the whole cast. I also love George Sanders as Addison DeWitt. He is the very cynical critic that becomes friends with Eve. And that's just so good. And I just love this movie. I think it's great. So that's my favorite of all of the Oscar Best Picture winners. Let me know what your favorites are. I would love to hear it. And please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you check out all my other friends of the Movie Nerds Club. I think you'll really enjoy their videos. And it's just such a fun thing we do, can support each other's channels. And please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please consider supporting the Patreon. It means so much to me and I'm grateful. Also have the merch store, which is a lot of fun. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.